Welcome everyone to Zoom into Books this afternoon. We have multi-international award-winning author Lisa McCombs today. Lisa is here to discuss MS awareness. She has written 3 books about MS and how to cope with it. So Lisa, we want to welcome you to Zoom into Books this afternoon.
Thank you, Kathy. It's good to be here.
So please tell us about your books and about your experiences and what you would like the viewers to know, please.
Okay. On July 1st, 2001, I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. I was 41 years old. I had just given birth to my only child 6 months prior to this. And I was in kind of a rocky marriage. So I was on my own and I had to learn how to walk and talk and feed myself again. And I didn't get to hold my newborn for some time. Multiple sclerosis is a neurological condition that attacks the myelin, which is the covering on nerve endings. And it is a disabling disease that can be treated, but not cured. There is no cure for MS yet. In 2016, I had the honor of writing my first book about multiple sclerosis. I Have MS, What's Your Superpower? The book was published by Headline Books, of which Kathy is the CEO and owner. I Have MS, What's Your Superpower? It's basically, I didn't know it at the time, but it is a venting mechanism because I had no idea what MS was. So I just started writing what I thought would possibly, hopefully, help other people with the same symptoms as I. So I Have MS, What's Your Superpower? I'm grateful you can see the awards that it has won. And I think it has been helping people. But that was in 2016. Within the last 12 months, I decided that I needed to say something more about my condition 20 years later, almost 20 years later. So I self-published more because I wanted to get it out there fast, a book, Letters to the Monster. And this is everything that I have learned so far about living with multiple sclerosis. So where I Have MS, What's Your Superpower was kind of like a venting mechanism. This is what I've learned. And I hope to write another one in a few years so I can talk about how the cure has come about, which I would really, really like to do. March of every year is MS Awareness Month. And I have become an advocate for the National MS Society. So I'm on many committees and I'm a speaker at some events, mostly virtually now, trying to get the word out about multiple sclerosis. This year, as part of my MS team, a local yoga studio has agreed to sponsor me and my walk, and they will begin this on Friday, March 1st, with a restorative yoga class open to the public to get the word out. On March 2nd, Saturday, we will be at the yoga studio all day with special events and gifts and refreshments and speakers. The TV station will be there. And I'll be reading from both of my books on that day. So I'm very, very excited to have that yoga studio involved with the MS Awareness Month this year. On April 20th, there will be the area MS walk in Morgantown, West Virginia. And that yoga studio is my team this year. So we are doing fundraising for MS awareness this year. And I thought it very fitting that I have a chapter in the first book about my experience with yoga. Yoga is reportedly probably one of the #1 exercises that is recommended for people with neurological conditions. So if you don't mind, I'd like to read my chapter entitled Namaste, y'all. According to Multiple Sclerosis for Dummies, it's a book that I tell everybody with MS that they need to read. At one time, not long ago, people with MS were told not to exercise. Of course, only 75 years ago, people with MS were also locked up in a psych ward or hidden from society's prying eyes. On the same page in MS for Dummies, my own little MSFD, my own little acronym for the book I reference, the authors offer a list of exercise benefits. It reduces fatigue, increases endurance and flexibility, improves cardiovascular health, improves bowel and bladder functions, strengthens bones, improves your mood, and helps in maintaining weight management. Okay, I don't think I plagiarized too blatantly, but in a nutshell, exercise is good stuff and not just for people with MS. I've played around with all types of exercise all my life, and when MS presented its own challenge to me, I realized that my exercise regime needed to take a serious turn from high-impact aerobics to more manageable options. Yoga, the specialists urge. Yes, yoga, my neurologist choruses. Yoga is the thing. All of my research indicates. Namaste, my cat's wise eyes tell me. My first gentle yoga session was with New York guru Charles on my Yoga Zone DVD. As he led me through the various poses on the sun-drenched beaches of Jamaica, I felt rather deflated at the lack of aerobic involvement. I silently, not to insult my cat, resolved to use this as my daily stretching routine before I jumped up on my stationary bike for a 2 or 3 mile ride. Lesson learned. Yoga is not for sissies. When I flopped to the floor on day 2 of this yoga commitment, and flopped I did, because for some reason my leg muscles refused to flow as fluidly as the day before, I realized what Charles and I had done hours before had literally touched a nerve. Behind his sweet smile and his calm voice was a taskmaster whose sword was drawn in defense against the monster. And so I answered his challenge and held a daily 20-minute rendezvous with Charles for several weeks. At the end of week 1, I was already feeling the positive effects of yoga. So I urge everyone experiencing neurological difficulties or even any chronic illness to get up and move. You do not have to be bedridden. You do not have to sit all the time. Move, because I think movement is one way to battle any physical condition that you may have. Since my diagnosis in 2001, I have been on 5 different MS medications. I am on my 5th right now. I started it last month, and I will do another month of the medication before I return back to my neurologist and get some blood work done and see what's going on with this. I hope it's my last medication. Everyone urges people with MS to medicate some way. So I do urge people to do that as well. Since I was diagnosed in 2001, My disease has progressed. I do not drive anymore. I have a severe dropped foot. My cognitive ability has slowed down tremendously. And these are negative things. So I don't dwell on the negative. I dwell on the positive. Because since my diagnosis in 2001, I have published 7 books, 2 about multiple sclerosis and 5 young adult novels, which are published through Headline Books. I'm working on my first ever middle grade book. So that's exciting too. I've made a lot of friends online on MS websites. So just because I have multiple sclerosis doesn't mean that my life has ended. Interesting fact, you cannot die from multiple sclerosis. You may die with multiple sclerosis or as a result of complications, but MS won't kill you. So rest assured that you're going to hang out with us for a long, long time. But I'm really grateful for this opportunity to spread word about MS, about multiple sclerosis, especially MS Awareness Month, which begins on Friday, March 1st. Kathy is publishing some websites for you, and one of them is with the National MS Society. So you can get involved. Oh, and I forgot to mention, the book that I self-published was actually reviewed by Cindy, and I'm gonna tear this name up. I cannot pronounce her last name, but she is the president and CEO of the National MS Society. So I think that I got a review from somebody important. So that's exciting. I really don't have much else that I can say. Kathy, do you have any questions?
Hi, Lisa. Yes, I posted those websites and for more information in the Facebook comments. You want to read the review that you were just talking about? You have it there.
Yes, Cindy says this is just a partial review. You can get the whole thing on my website. This is a practical, interesting, and inspiring look into Lisa's life. And this does not kill.
That's fantastic. I know you've been an advocate for years and years.
Yes.
Your story is one of the most heart-wrenching I've ever heard. When you brought that story to me, I could not put myself in your shoes, and so admire what you have done to raise your gorgeous, beautiful, talented son.
Oh, yes. Update on him. He is 23 years old now.
Who is now grown and I'm still in college or has a job or whatever.
He is earning his degree in, now you tell me this is not heaven sent. He is earning his degree in game design.
Perfect.
Yes. So he will be playing games for work.
That's great. My daughter colors.
Yes.
Your son plays games. That's great. But I know there's a lot of people out there who have been watching, who might have MS or have a member of their family who has MS. You can go to Lisa's website, Lady with the Cane. Her books are on there. Her contact information is on there. And I know that if you reach out to Lisa, she'll be happy to respond with information.
Absolutely. Yes. Don't hesitate to get in touch with me.
So for those of you watching, this video will be on the Zoom into Books Facebook page. Go back and watch it anytime. In a few weeks, it'll be on the Zoom into Books YouTube channel. Can watch it there too. And Lisa, we wish you the very best and hope you'll come back and talk about your new middle school book when it's
I would
ready.
love to.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. And everyone on Facebook, we want to thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Kathy.
Thank you.